my first job, like my real first job, paying job. So I can't really compare it to anything. I'm from Japan, so I can't really compare it to anything from Japan. But as far as I think effort's key. You know, that's something that you control. Your effort is something that you should always be at 100% when you're at work. I mean, that's something that, like I said, you can control, and something that you can beat someone else out at. You know, someone here might be lazy who's working next to you or whatever, but you're at 100%. You know, you're showing that you're at 100%, and don't be afraid. Like everyone said, don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, if you don't know something, you don't know it. It's okay not to know it. You're not supposed to know everything. You know, go up to your boss or go up to your coworker and be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Can you help me out? Or if someone asks you a question and you can help them, always help them out as well.
I'm from India, and I actually have a 1-year work experience in India. So there, you know, I think I see some Indians here. You would know, like, we don't call people by their first name. We actually call them sir, or senior to you. Even like a senior engineer, you have to call them sir, manager, sir. My co-op, I go there, I meet the vice president of the company. He goes, hi, I'm Andy. I'm like, okay. Like, I just wanted to say sir to him. Like, that was the first thing which actually came out to me. And it's like, you know, and if you actually call them sir, some people take it offensively. Like, oh my god, what do you think I'm like, you know, from England or something? With the sir title. Like, that has happened, and that is one very different. Like, people, like, here, everybody, like, in my present company, my CEO, Tom Gavin, I just go to him like, hey, Tom, like, you don't have that sir or anything, but still, like, it's not the word, it's the way you talk to them. Use the first name concept, but be respectful of whom you're talking to, and even your peers for that matter.
I'm from Ireland, and like Europe, it's much more, like if you're in a 9-to-5 job, it's 9 to 5, you have your weekends off, like on a Friday everybody leaves at 4:30, maybe that's why we're in such a crisis, but it's like, it's like, that's what I would think is the biggest thing. When I started my co-op, and suddenly I was like in the office till like 7 p.m, or I had to do work on a Sunday evening, like I didn't anticipate that. Like everybody's on their, you know, like on their Blackberries 24/7, emails all the time. So I think that's the biggest thing that I saw, the difference between home and here. Also the level of responsibility, like an entry-level position at home would be much more, you're trained on the job, and someone's kind of like babying you, not babying you, like, but like looking over your shoulder constantly. Like for my co-op, when I started here, like it was a week of training, and then you were in on the deep end, and you just like were learning on the job. Like you could ask questions, but it was a lot more responsibility was given to you. And then lastly, I'd just say, like somebody mentioned, like when managing expectations, like if you don't think you're going to get something done, if you have too much on your plate, that's one thing. Like at home, like I think there'd be more people could see how much you had to do, whereas here, like you have loads of different people asking you to do different things. So I think just saying I won't be able to get that done until next week or until tomorrow, or instead of saying yes to everybody just to try and impress them, I think that's another thing just to watch out for. But that would be the 3 things that I noticed that were different.
So I must mention that I had some experience when I worked in Greece as a high school student, and it's totally different here. It's totally different from Europe. The biggest thing, I mean, the most obvious thing when you start working here is that the first person, you know, you refer to the other in first person, and that you have to get used to that because you don't do it in college, your first years in college, unless you have really cool professors, which sometimes we do in the business school. Also very important is to learn names. And that's very important in a big office. Just try and learn the names the first couple of weeks. When you do informational interviews, never ask for something extra, because that's what you do in informational interview. But let them know that you would be interested to learn more and to learn about possible openings, for example. So there are limitless things you can do. Do research online. Go online and research the culture, research the company culture, because it differs from company to another.
I've been working for 3 months, and one thing I found is like, because like we're working in teams, one thing I found is like sometimes when the teammates are joking around, I don't get a joke. That's the culture difference. Or like some like vocabularies like in the entertainment sector or whatever, like I just don't know the word. And it's okay, like I just ask them. Like I mean there's no mistake for you to ask anything you don't know. I mean, they will tell you, they will like let you know and let you get a joke because like they want to like boost the team environment, anything. I mean, like for me, I think like all those employers, like they're looking for like diverse client base and diversity in their workforce as well. So like for us, we have a color difference. It's not a bad thing at all. But just like show them the like bright aspect from your culture, and just like hide or whatever, drop the dark side, and they'll appreciate that. And I think like now I just can joke around with my teammates and share some jokes, stories from my country, my own story, and they love that too.
So make sure that like few weeks you notice what is going around, what is going around in your own team, because every team is different and you'll have people from different other countries also. Now, like where I'm working, I have people from Russia, Spain, and from everywhere. So just observe like what they are doing, how people usually interact, how they talk, and it's different. So and also make sure that you get to know the culture. How is it open or like is it email? So few people like it only if it is on email, and few people ask like it's an open door policy. So you can come in and ask question anytime. So make clear with your manager on the first day to find out how is the culture. Like can you dress formally or not? You have to dress casually or you have to dress formally. How do you interact with your peers? How do you interact with your bosses? Do you have to keep all your bosses in loop whenever you send an email, or how is it? So I think that those are the important points you should.
I would say that a lot of the companies, they know when they look at your resume, like they can, I wouldn't say guess, but have an inception that you are an international student and you'll be looking for. So when you're talking to them over the phone interview, they always ask, do you have any questions for us? That is the time that you need to clear this out, that do you sponsor, or this is gonna be over the phone only, or even email. Just make sure that they do it. Like I know like they have a very huge list of candidates companies which sponsor H1, and if you want to work for the green cards, but like always, like even though if you're not sure of a company, there's no harm in emailing and asking them. The worst thing is like they'll say no, we don't sponsor it. But at least don't, like if you really like a job profile and that's something you want to do, but just because of the fear that they won't sponsor, you don't apply to it or something. Don't have that. Just apply. Ask them, put them in an email.
I think you have to do your research before asking or applying. But generally, when you apply for many positions, just do your research. Which companies have done visas in the past, which have sponsored them. You can do it online, I guess. And ask people. See where other international students were hired, or where your friends have been hired. That's the best indicator of companies that issue visas. And don't be afraid to ask. They're not doing a favor by issuing a visa. They're just getting your talent and getting a legal issue in order as well, which they need to do. So don't be afraid to ask the question even in the first interview. I mean, it's not your main question of the interview, but it's one of the important points you need to bring to the interview.
What I would say is that, in most of the interview process that I have gone through, people send us a questionnaire and they ask us, where are you from, do you need H1 visas or not? And even if you are not going to get a H1 visa from that interview, I think you should go ahead and give the interview to get the experience. So if you don't do that, if you just first be bothered about your H1B, it will give a negative effect. So what I would do is, like in this whole process, I'll tell you, I have learned from every interview that I've given. So every interview call that you get, just go ahead, give the interview, do it perfectly fine, and at the final, how much time are you going to spend? Half an hour? That's okay, you're going to study. So I think it should not be a problem for you guys to go ahead and give an extra interview and find out that you'll not get an H1. Yeah, try for an H1B position, but have a plan B. Like, okay, if I get this job, at least I'm safe for like few months, right? So maybe in the job you go, you work, they like you so much that they're ready to do your H1. That has happened to one of my friends. So if it's a very critical condition, then I think you should go ahead and give all your interviews and then find out a way.
most of my friends, LinkedIn is a great source for all kinds of jobs. It's a great source, and companies now just go and post there directly. Also, Husky Career Link has this functionality of filtering companies that sponsor, if correct. And also, apart from all these websites, Monster and everything, just your network of individuals. Just go to events on campus, and that's a great resource of looking for jobs, believe me.
Another option is then, if you look in your home country, like what I started doing towards the end was like looking at Irish companies that have offices in Boston and New York. So if you think of big global companies in your home country, and then you can go on their website and see if they, like, some of them have like graduate programs where they send students abroad. So that's another option. Like if you don't start looking at an American company to try and see like a home country that will, you go home and train with them and they'll send you back over here. It's another option.
MyVisaJobs.com is another really great website. You can find out what companies have sponsored for positions that you're interested in. So positions in your field. So that's a great resource. It's MyVisaJobs.com. And Going Global is also an excellent resource. And you can identify companies who have sponsored H-1B visas in the past by metro area, so by city and also by state. And you get to Going Global by logging into Husky Career